everybody, so here we are doing the third comic book review for today, and it's issue 7 to 12 of Superman. Okay, not a lot has really happened since the first 6 issues that I've reviewed, which you can check by clicking the link. I will say that Dan Jurgens hasn't done too badly with Superman. I mean, this is the guy who did. Let's have a look. Well, he's done quite a fair bit regarding Superman. I'm taking a look, but I'm trying to think which ones I have of his. But he has done a lot regarding Superman anyway in the past. Nothing's grabbing out of my shelf as yet, but he knows Superman quite well. Okay. But as I say, given these particular 6 issues, nothing has really come out on top. I mean, issue 7, he's having a fight with a character by the name of Hellspawn, who wants to partner with him, but also at the same time uses him as his slave, kind of thing. And Superman doesn't really agree with that, so it kind of doesn't work out too well. There's also a bit about a certain character who, well, someone tries to figure out the identity of Superman, and it is known that they eventually find out who he is, but it's not who they actually think he is. A guy by the name of Stephen Becker, I believe it is, who ends up being the guy that everyone thinks is Superman. But as I say, I'll get to that in a moment. But as I say, issue 7 is just him up against this Hellspawn guy. What I did love, though, what I will say, is I like the way that the suit has actually been implemented on Superman now. It's no longer something he can wear underneath, given the size of the boots, for one, and also, you have to think of it as Kryptonian technology. Okay, no one has ever really told the truth, the full-on, story of how Superman's suit is actually, how it comes about. Yes, from Superman the movie, it was, it was put together, kind of thing. Lois and Clark with New Adventures of Superman, also it was put together by Martha. Same thing in Smallville. So all of that, but in actual essence, if you think about it, it is a Kryptonian armor to such an extent, and it is a piece of technology. Jor-El was a scientist. His father pretty much devised said suit in some extent, and whoever wears the suit, it takes on the shape of or the look that they want to perceive from it. So hence, if you see in Action Comics, it's the white suit. The suit is obviously white to begin with. When he puts it on, these are the colours that it comes about. So I quite like that, and I thought that was a very, very good, unique way to actually allow for the suit to be on Superman. It wasn't a case of he's got to wear the suit underneath. He has the S. It's blue to a certain extent, but it does, as I say, carry the technology for the suit to digitize itself all over. To cover him up, kind of thing. So anyway, as I say, issue 8, a bit more to do with Hellspawn, and also he's trying to control the Man of Steel. He wants the Man of Steel to work for him, which obviously Superman doesn't want to do. It just gets a bit too intense, kind of thing. There's a bit where he's playing a bit of mind games. He's given him a vision that shouldn't be there. As the issue goes on and on, as I say, it does feel a bit tedious, kind of like as if it was just filled in just for the sake of it. I didn't mind it to an extent, but I thought it could have been better. Then him and Clark and Jimmy are now roommates, which is kind of interesting. But as I say, that's what issue 8. So we'll get out of that one. Here we come into issue 9. Now, issue 9 is pretty much sort of the turning point for me in some ways. He saves a submarine, a Russian submarine, but doesn't actually realise that the contents of the submarine is actually quite deadly and alien as well. The Russians have done something pretty bad, but I'll tell you later on, because there's actually said it in a later issue. So anyway, while that is happening, as I say, there's this character here by the name of Mr. Barnes, who believes that he has the truth about Superman's secret identity, as I mentioned in issue 7 there. So this Mr. Barnes guy thinks he has Superman's secret identity, and eventually releases it to the world. We have a new character by the name of Anguish, female there, who can't be hit for some strange reason. She can dissolve, and things, bullets and whatnot fly through her, as you can see there. Sorry, right there. Where is it? There. So you see the bullet flying through her there. So that's that character. But as I say, Mr. Barnes thinks he's found the true identity of Superman, and it's not who he thinks it is at all. He tries to tell Lois about it first of all, but she's not buying it. She's not convinced. So he goes to the one person who can really, tell the news, and that's Morgan Edge, who is the guy who's in charge of Global News Media, the group that also owns the Daily Planet kind of thing, and also he's in charge of Lois Lane. So he basically says, right, I'll run with it as long as you are absolutely certain that who you think is Superman is actually Superman, kind of thing. So that's that doesn't occur just yet, but as you can see here, the poor guy who everybody now thinks is Superman comes out and he's like, what has just happened? And they're all looking at him thinking, oh my god, it's really him, and even here, as you can see, the whole him changing into Superman, that he can change his facial features and all that sort of stuff, which to an extent Superman can. He can actually train the muscles within his body to change to in some degree. There was a trying to think, was it, I can't remember if it was in Superman the Animated Series or Batman the Animated Series, but I think it was in Superman the Animated Series, where Batman comes to Metropolis kind of thing, or he enlists the help of Superman, and Superman actually impersonates Batman to the point of where he can actually speak as Bruce. And I remember seeing that particular episode, and I remember even Dick Grayson turned around and said, how the hell did you do that? He says, I can change the muscles in my face and my vocal cords to match Bruce's. And it was, in some sense, I'm sure that's pretty much where Dan has probably got this particular idea from, to say that Superman looks like, this Stephen Becker, Spence Becker rather, as opposed to Stephen Becker. I said Stephen, it was Spence Becker. That he has the ability to, change his face, kind of thing, and mould it into how he really looks to compare to what he looks as an alien, kind of thing. So that's that in issue 9. So when we get to, looks like it's going to rain. Issue 10, a bit more regarding Anguish. As you can see the front cover there, bit more going on there. He finds out a bit more. Superman gets a bit more background regarding Anguish. She obviously in issue 9, she's in a bank vault, breaks into a safety deposit box, and she's pretty much picking something up that belongs to her. That she feels quite sad about a certain thing that her dad did to her, and she misses her mum, and it's all to do with her parents. She's very, very anguished, hence the name. And her dad did something really bad when she was young. She wasn't happy about it. So she's pretty much taken matters into her own hands. So he kind of uses that against her. But at the same time, as I say, this Spence Becker guy, he's been visited by this Mr. Barnes dude to the family home, and even Anguish then suddenly believes that Spence Becker is Superman as well. So she goes to the house of the Beckers, tries to cause a bit of mayhem. Superman saves the family. It just gets a bit too much in the end, and it's all about the misunderstanding, thinking that Superman is Spence Becker when in fact he's not. But nobody else knows that apart from obviously Clark himself. He then manages to calm Anguish down by saying that he the item that she picked up from the safety deposit box wasn't actually broken, because it perceived that he broke it, and she pretty much let out her rage, but it didn't. But after she got it back, he's saying to her, look, I can try and help you, I can get Star Labs to help you, this, that and the other, but she's like, no one can help her, and then she just disappears. So that's her gone out of the picture. And then, as you can see here, slight confusion that Spence Becker is Superman. Actually, then realizes, a lot of people then realize that they're not, because you can see them both standing side to side there. So it's like everyone's thinking, ah, right. So it's not, they're not the same. But then this Mr. Barnes dude is now thinking, no, wait, you've got to be a clone or a robot. You know, one of you has to be Superman, one of you can't be real, kind of thing. But it's like, well, how can you prove that? You can't, can you? Then the last page sort of ends with what's happening from the Russian sub. We're at a sort of secret installation base somewhere in Russia, and a bit of a killing happens. So that moves on. Okay, so when we get to issue 11, well, as I say, a bit more about the sugar. Well, issue 11 tells us a bit more about the suit, the real truth, the secret behind the suit, how it operates, how it, you know, comes on Superman and stuff like that. Although I say that there's a bit about the suit, what we actually find is that this creature that was on the Russian submarine that Superman saved is able to actually immobilize Superman's suit to the point of where the character in itself is kind of like, how should I put it, Predator in some nature. Quick little flash though. I've just got to show you the way that the suit is, how it goes onto him there. It's, you know, it's Kryptonian biotech as he describes it, and it comes onto him, and well, then he's ready to fly, sort of thing. So he has the T-shirt on, if you can see there. Okay, he's still got the white T-shirt. I'm guessing that's coming from Action Comics again. So all that happens. He goes to the site of where this creature has pretty much killed everybody on site, and the Russians really, you know, don't know what to do with it anymore. But as I say, this particular creature is kind of Predator in some sense, because he's sort of invisible. He has a lot of gadgets. He catches Superman off guard a number of times, as you can see there. Eventually he makes himself known, and then completely disables the suit in such a way that, as you can see there, the suit is now white again. So he totally immobilizes the suit. So even though Superman still has his powers, the suit itself has just gotten completely tampered with. So anyway, it goes on from there, and this is kind of quite interesting for me, because I like the way that the suit is done, as I've mentioned before. I do love how it's devised, how it's come about, that it is a Kryptonian technology to some extent. It is a biotech, and you know, people shouldn't frown at the fact that, you know, it's armor in some sense, yes, but at the same time it's technology, it's scientific, it's Kryptonian. You know, we're led to believe that his suit has some form of technology within it. You know, even though in previous incarnations and in the films, TV shows, it's never been described as that, but this kind of, in some ways, gives you that idea, and I quite like it. So anyway, in issue 12, Lois's sister Lucy Lane, who Clark has let down on a couple of occasions, comes to Superman's apartment, notices that Jimmy is there instead, answering the door. No idea where Superman has gone. They're supposed to be going bungee jumping, Clark and Lucy, but instead, where's Clark? He's trapped by the creature that's immobilized his suit. So as I say, that happens there. He eventually breaks himself free. You know, causes a bit more destruction with the creature. The Russians are now saying, well, you know, Superman hasn't finished the job, we're going to have to do it ourselves by launching a nuclear missile to the site of where both Superman and this creature is at. But when Superman takes off the helmet of the creature, he notices something interesting. That the creature can't breathe without the helmet. And then finds that there's a piece of cylinder that he gives to Superman finds. But what it does is, it's actually a translator. So the creature is telling Superman that he can't breathe, gives him the helmet, warns him that if you try anything funny, you know, I'm going to hurt you, kind of thing. But then the creature explains why and how he's on Earth, and you know, and Superman says, well, you should answer for all the people that you've killed, kind of thing. I'm not going to let you go back to your dimension after what you've done. But the creature is saying, well, it wasn't my decision to come here. Your people brought me here. I want to just go back home. So in the end, you know, a massive scuffle occurs. Superman notices a nuclear missile is on its way. That gets stopped. But the ending, I think the last two sort of couple of pages, last 3 pages are very, very, heartwarming to a certain extent. Clark apologises to Lucy about the amount of times that he's let her down, and then they decide to go bungee jumping. She's going on about how for a few seconds you'll believe you can fly, kind of thing. So there's all the usual sort of things to do with Clark Kent, and everything about his bumbling personality, sort of thing. So it's very, very interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Given what we've seen so far, as I say, overall it hasn't been that spectacular, but there's still a lot of things that they can work on. Now, Dan Jurgens isn't going to be doing Superman anymore. I think this was his last issue that he's worked on, so it's actually going to go to Scott Lobdell, who's been doing Superboy. So it'll be interesting to see what his take will be on the Man of Steel. Not a lot of people are probably happy about him doing the Man of Steel, but again, as I'm going to say, we'll see. He could surprise everybody. He could surprise us. We don't know, but we'll see as time goes on, and we'll just take it from there. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all later. Bye.